Hola de nuevo a todos los que estáis siguiendo este congreso online de moda sostenible. Está siendo, como veis, un congreso apasionante en el que estamos de forma coral escuchando la voz de mucha gente que está trabajando, que está creyendo en que otro mundo, otra sociedad es posible y que impulsada desde la moda sostenible se pueden hacer muchas cosas. Y ahora es un momento muy especial porque tenemos a dos perfiles muy interesantes con nosotros. Tenemos a Isabel Berz, que está trabajando desde el Instituto Europeo de Diseño en el REC, que ahora nos contará un poquito qué es hecho, y está trabajando en programas de investigación europeos, y que va a ser muy interesante también que nos cuente cómo ella ha fundado las Manuelas y está trabajando con un equilibrio entre lo ético y lo estético en esta plataforma digital. Y por otro lado tenemos a Matea Benedetti, que es una diseñadora de moda eslovena que ha tenido múltiples premios y es pionera en el tema de la moda y el lujo sostenible. Y bueno, como ya es habitual en todos estos encuentros, vamos a estar detrás en voz en off. Las protagonistas son Isabel y Matea. En este caso, Rochele Melo, a quien veis ahora en pantalla, va a ser quien va a conducir la conversación entre estas dos mujeres. Y, y bueno, un placer teneros aquí con nosotras y estamos deseando escucharos.
Muchas gracias, Paloma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's start with Isabel. It's okay for you? Just tell us a little bit about your path. How did you end up here with us today?
Okay. Yeah, first of all, thank you to have me here in this platform, which is, I think, becoming more and more important, that we share and that we connect between all the people and institutions who have somehow the same goals and the same ideas. And we are already a lot of people all over the planet. So it's amazing to be connected also to your platform. I am half German. My father is German, my mother is Spanish. I grew up between cultures. And I think also Matea has a very international background. And I always, between cultures, between different languages, different habits. And this somehow became my mindset. So I'm always very interested in connecting people and also dimensions from different, which are very distant between them. So it's always to make people coming together to respect them without hierarchies, and to come out with new ways of doing things. Because I think there are so many knowledge and so many systems all around, also in fashion. And I was a fashion designer. I studied in Paris, haute couture, and I worked in Milan, and then I had my own fashion brand in Spain. So there is a big system which is which exists since so many years, and the whole industry is related to its seasonal production system. But somehow there are so many other options to do fashion. And I think also, as I read about Matea, and she's inspiring a new mindset in the consumer. This is something what we are doing with Las Manuelas, like testing a new way of doing things, and just to give a new inspiration that it's possible to do fashion in another way. So, and also going into the market and test it, and it's possible. So somehow we learn, and I come from IED, which is a fashion design school. So we show our students how to do it, but we have also to show that they have to encourage them to somehow disrupt the systems and go beyond what we know as a system. No? So I feel I'm like an explorer. I like to be, also I'm relating to my partner Matea. She's a pioneer, and I also like to be like, you know, not a pioneer, but with my team to really explore the borders and the limits of what is already there. And somehow I feel I'm always, again, and still in my life, an explorer.
Thank you, amazing. Matea, and you, tell us a little bit about your story.
Yes, my story, Isabel did a nice introduction. And my story is like that. I was, first I was a costume designer. I never wanted to work in fashion industry. Since I was a student, I have a passion for sustainability, but this was 25 years ago. And at that time, we really didn't still know how big impact has a fashion on the planet and on our society and on people working in the fashion industry. And that's why I moved to costume design. And in 2014, I decided that I want to create a sustainable luxury brand. At that time, there was no connection between sustainability and luxury because there were just organic cottons on the market. But when first organic silks come out, that was the moment when I decided that I have to change my job from costume design and become kind of inspiration that we can make a change on a very high level in fashion. And from that time on, I start working with innovative textiles. I start doing researches. My first designs were very poor. My first launches on the market were very bad because I was really in visual. It was very difficult to create with such a poor textiles. And today the progress is quite big in this area. So today you can really create beautiful garments in very ethical and very sustainable way.
Thank you.
It reminds me because we are partner in an EU project which is called Reframe, Rethinking Fashion. And there it's about investigating and exploring new ways of urban manufacturing with emerging technologies. So we have amazing examples from Julia Körner, Garnet Goldstein, which are some of the awarded winners. You should have participated, Matea. But now we have already the winners of the second call. We have them selected, but it's actually very interesting how like 3D printing, laser cutting, and are giving a lot of options now. Like you say, combining with sustainable materials. But because actually the balance between technology and sustainability is somehow now a challenge for us. So I always was like very scared about technology, and actually in Las Manuelas we work with raw material, like skilled from the animal, and without intervening in the wool. So it's like 100% natural. But with this project, with Reframe, I'm really discovering how many very exciting technologies are able to transform, like you say, poor materials and make them more exciting, more beautiful. And so there's a lot of options now. No? We have coming, if we go beyond the industry, like what are the materials, like industrial fabricants are offering. So we have the whole thing, which are just raw materials, and then we have the technologies. So there is a very huge space for research and also for innovation. What do you think about, do you like new technologies? Are you?
No, I'm very, because the challenge, the designers we have before challenged us to do good design. Now we have to do good design and use clean textiles, or let's say sustainable textiles, to create new fashion, let's say new fashion era, I say, because now it's a right time, because we have time due to coronavirus, we have this time to rethink fashion and to start doing it smart and ethical.
And Matea, you work with many textile, very innovative textile. I remember the pineapple leather. How do you do this research? What are you bringing new for this field?
In sustainability, especially in textiles, you have to do a really deep research, not just research, but you have to have knowledge what is good, what is half good, what is 90% okay for the environment, because you have a lot of now sustainable textiles, but depends on the percentage how much is good for the environment. And this is one part that take a lot of time, because you have really to check the suppliers, how they made these textiles and with what they mix it. No? So when I start working, for example, they contact me a company from Italy. They invented the pineapple leather, and I did a first example in garment. It was, let's say, it was made with half apples from waste of food industry, but half was mixed with polyurethane. So yeah, you make this, it's a plant-based leather, but it's just for one cycle. So the challenge for all of us is how do this cycle and again the cycle and again the cycle, or how to produce with biodegradable textiles that they will disappear in nature, I don't know, in 3 weeks or 3 months. So here is a lot to think how much each brand is sustainable and where the brand can force this sustainability.
Got your point. I think you see something related, no, Isabel, with Las Manuelas, how you bring the sustainable materials to be more used. Can you tell us about the process that they use there?
Yeah, just to add to what Matea says, to be 100% sustainable is very difficult. And what is the most important part is to be transparent. So I think information is important, traceability is important, and certification is important, education for the consumer is important, and at least interest to know where the garments come from, which is like the production journey. So these are all new things consumers should ask for, so that the brands have to really give information. And then, you know, it's up to us, to the consumers, to decide, I prefer this product or this product. So at Las Manuelas, we actually, we found a story, because when we were invited from an NGO, Economists Without Borders, and a Peruvian NGO, Movimiento Manuela Ramos, to work with this group of women who live in the southeast of Peru, in the highlands. So they live all of their own because they are alpaca herders. So when we went there, a small team from IED, it was actually me with some students from the fashion school, we found the story, because the story is that they're women, they have their own alpaca animals. So they use the wool of their own alpacas and they transform the whole process. They skill the wool, they dye it with the local plants, they spin it, and they also then at the end knits the pieces by hand. So this is a very incredible story. I never, you know, touched original wool. I never had, we don't have access to raw materials. So it was really amazing. And what we started to do is, because the whole project was about empowering this woman, it's like to connect them, because my students, when we stayed there, because the first research trip was like 6 weeks, co-living with this woman, was like, we want to design with them. It was like 2012 with them, like the co-design concept was born. And this developed by the time into a digital platform, which is which we designed to be used by everybody. So it's a very easy to use platform. and also this collective of women, which are called Las Manuelas, they intervene in the design of the pieces using the platform. So I can show you, actually, this is one of the first pieces we did to test the platform. So it's a designer from Spain. He's a student, Christian Simons. And you see here, it's like, you know, she did it like in 10 minutes. Like if we would have more time, other projects, then they intervene much more. But it's like, you know, it's her family, her husband, herself, her son, her daughter, and, you know, the alpaca animals. So this is somehow her brand. So all the pieces are handmade, and also you see that we don't use only baby alpaca. We also used like the next level of the quality. And when we went to Paris to the fair, we saw that the market is really interested in buying a story. So it's not only the product, so the whole story behind. And actually, you know, this collection, which was a testing collection, we sold it to 2 Japanese concept stores. And actually they made a whole exposition about the project, which is not normal, because usually in fashion stores, you know, multi-label stores or even concept stores, you have the products, but you never know what is behind. And here they made, in the 2 stores, they made like a 1-week exhibition about the whole project. So we had to send them all the, you know, the pictures, the videos, and a lot of graphics. And so this is when I really realized that the market is somehow looking for projects and products which are different. So we always think we have to fit into the system, and we are afraid to be different. But I think now, after the COVID, and in this whole process of this year, where everything is coming down, so it's really time now to come out with new ideas and new ways of doing things, because I think the market, actually the consumers, which are us, it's not, you know, consumers is not something, you know, it's us. We are all changing, and we are all somehow more aware about our environment, about people, about so many things we didn't have even the time to think about it before. So now I think it's time, really, it's like the commitment now it's to really rethink and do things in what we believe, like giving value to our lives, giving value in what we do. Like Matea, she started so many years ago, but other fashion designers didn't think about it, because they go on, and, you know, they still were alive with their brands. But now it's really, we have now the opportunity to make new things, you know.
Great. You said that, please.
Even it's a huge demand of the products with values, how you said, and with this, even you give to customer the power that he or she can decide in what kind of future they want to live. Because with the product, let's say with fashion, which is something beautiful, you can have the power to change practically our way of living on the planet.
Yeah.
Because the fashion industry is the 4th most polluted, so it's a huge power if you support sustainable products, and much more people know about it, bigger changes will be, you know?
And also, Matea, your products are quite pricey. I saw the prices, also ours, you know. So we go to a market where people spend money. First of all, they spend money into something because it will stay with them for a long time. So this is
term,
the first principle of changing, you know, fashion consumer behavior, which is very much related to a seasonal use, you know, where I buy it, I use it, and then I store it, or I, you know, if it's cheap, you throw it away or you give it. But now I think the whole industry, we have to offer new services, like, you know, you can share it, you can exchange it, you can redesign it, or just keep it for your daughter, you know, or, so there's a whole, this is the mindset we have to change, like, you know, the approach to the use of fashion has to be more longevity, like it's not the use for a very limited time, no? And if somebody buy one of your pieces, which are really actually art pieces, nobody is going to spend so much money in one of your pieces just to have it for one season. And this is actually the start of a good also consumer behavior, you know.
But you know, the price, I said I want to enter in the sustainable luxury, and I don't think luxury today it's related to sustainability. Sustainability is about the cost or how much is a product, but it's about that you get the best for your health and for the planet, which means the most clean textile, made in the most ethical way. Unique design, you know, it's all the universum around one product, and then at the end even a story. Because I can just say about Benedetti Life is that I dedicate every season to one animal in extinction. No, so the spring summer was dedicated to parrots, and it's through a fashion you can really explain all the story about the planet, what is happening in so many levels.
Interesting.
Yeah. Please, Matea, can you explain a little bit more about the story behind your concepts? It's something that I'd like to know a bit more. Yeah. So the season is the octopus, no?
Yeah, the next season I'm making now is the octopus. I will show you just, this is the, what I'm doing. No, I don't know if you see, it's,
yeah, we can.
I have like this, the previous season was dedicated to parrots. So I do for each collection, I research what is happening with that animal on the planet, no? So when I start with parrots, the blue parrot extinct from natural habitat because of the Pixar cartoon Blue, right? Because all children want to have this parrot at home. So through fashion, I explaining what happened to animal species, not just because of bad part of humans, but even some parents want to buy for children a parrot, and even he don't have this conscience what he's doing in real, no? So I am using garments to explaining this kind of stories. So the next one is dedicated to octopus, which is one of the most intelligent animals on the planet, with emotional part, which all the scientists now prove it, that and that through DNK, it's the most far from human being, no? So there is whole universum behind one garment, and every season I am put inside one innovation. For example, I did I don't know, pineapple jacket. So with then this new season I did with tencel, which is made with wood, no? So this is the concept of the brand, to put and something about sustainability. Each brand has his own criteria, and that depends of the brand itself. So for customers, it's good that who you are, choose the brand that much more fits your values. No? So that's why I want to put in one brand the highest and the most strict criteria I can do it right now. Great. It's a challenge for me. It's all the time a challenge, no?
Great, thank
anyway,
you.
Sustainability is a challenge for everybody.
It's nice that you talk about values. One value that I see, Isabel, in Las Manuelas is the social impact that we are doing. Why do you think it's important to support, to empower these women in Peru, in Puno? It's a amazing area. I've been there already. It's great.
Yeah. First of all, this is still the mission of our project. It's our commitment, and commitments usually there should be long lives. So it's actually my commitment through this project to this woman, which I met in 2012. I think for the rest of my life, because you know, you can't just arrive there and you know, our impact in their life was quite important through the years, and then disappear. Like, you know, a lot of cooperation projects, they arrive, they stay there for a time, and then they disappear. So, and this is actually very, very important to highlight, because if you, in our society, we are used to disappear constantly. You know, we come to a place, we start to, you know, to a restaurant. We go to a restaurant, and then perhaps next week there's another waiter or another owner. So we get used to it. But at this place, what is nice that these women are always the same. They live there. So this gave me like the idea of what is a value of, you know, that the things have to keep on going. You can't just change every time everything. So we reached this commitment like in 2012, because this was the main goal of this organization in Peru. It's an organization, they operate in the whole area of the whole nation of Peru since 40 years. It's a feminist organization, and they went to this area, which it's a very remote area, and identified all the women who live there and connected them. So they bring them together in the nearest village, near where they live, so they can, you know, speak to each other, and they can have at least once a week a meeting with other women, where they share their, you know, their problems and also their dreams. And there, in these meetings, they learned how to knit, because actually they are not artisans from the beginning, they are alpaca herders, and they use their meat to exchange it against other vegetables and other kind of food, because they only had like the alpaca meat to eat. I've eaten a lot of alpaca meat in my trips. And so they don't have any income, economic income. And the economic income we are giving them, it's for the education for the children, because it's the whole dream. The first day when the first meeting, we make like videos, and we make like an interview, and we ask them, what is your dream? And they had really to think about what is my dream, what I dream about. And then they only think about their children. They think, it's always to give their children better education. And but we are not changing their, you know, we have an impact because they are now like independent from their husbands, which is very important. And they can decide, it's their money, so they can decide how to spend the money, which is also important. So this is giving them a lot of empowerment. They are connecting to a very wide community of artists, because, for example, the last collection, we like the idea to work with collectives, because there are collectives, so we are not relating like one designer or one creative director. We work with collectives, which in fashion it's also not very normal. And now we built a collective of 11 international acclaimed artists, contemporary artists, and yeah, and they know, you know, we send them the pictures of them and the designs, but also we let them know who the artists are. And when they start to work together, they have also, because now they have smartphones, so they send them WhatsApps, and they send them pictures about, you know, they make beautiful videos about their, you know, their alpacas and their children, and, you know, in this. So the whole thing about empowering is not only economically, it's also that they feel that they have their own, you know, their own universe with us. You know, they have something which is beyond their family, and they can also decide. They can, you know, if you see, for example, I have a very. This was another collection we did, which are very big pieces, and here, here, for example, you see, but because I cannot show, you know, the digital pattern, but they really changed, like very subtle, you know. The co-design is, you see that they're very sophisticated, and you know that they see, you know, how they integrate their, you know, their ideas, and they make like change. Perhaps here they make a little of pink. So it's also a kind of giving them power that they can really, you know, put into something for them. It's like, you know, this is an art piece, no? That they can really integrate their own idea and their own aim into these pieces. So by the years, I see that they get, you know, they need somehow a woman which is part of a family, which is they are Packerherders, so they have, you know, they wake up in the morning very early, they have to care about the animals, they have to care about their families. So now they are part of something which is different. They have laptops, you know, they use like this digital platform. You know, their children are proud of their mothers because they use computers. So it's amazing to see, you know, it's amazing to see how they handle, you know, with this new dimension in their life. But what I wanted to say is we are not changing their lives. So the whole project is respecting their agenda, you know, because we cannot ask them, for example, to knit like 8 hours a day, because they don't have time to knit 8 hours a day. So we and our customers, we have to wait until they, you know, for example, a piece like this, it takes like 2 months. And we have to wait for it. So it's not changing their, you know, their agenda, but it's adding to their life something which is important economically, but also emotionally.
Oh, incredible. For me, it's a full catalog of the SDGs being accomplished. You know, it tackles many of the goals. It's incredible.
Yeah, I have to say, we are a research center, so this is not economically viable as a brand now. So we can do it because we had funding from also from La Caixa Foundation for the first trips, and this is the reason we are able to test so many radicals. So nobody would go to a fair in Paris, which is quite costly. Even if, you know, the stand we have been offered from the director of the Premier Class because she loved the project, but you have to go there. We are 3 people because, you know, you be 1 week at a fair, you cannot be alone. So it's a lot of cost of money also, and you know, usually you go with a collection you think you are going to sell, and we went to a collection with we thought, okay, let's see what happens. So we can do it because we are a research center. And I understand that small brands cannot take so many risks. So our you know, our mission is to give this message and, you know, our example to encourage people and other brands that it's possible, that the market is ready for more radical ways of doing things. And for these kind of, you know, which is in Paris at the fair, we were the only brand. Premier Class is a fashion fair, fashion accessories fair, very big, and I think like more than 25 years they make like twice a year in Paris, two fairs, and we were the only one who showed products which worked with raw material and which are made by hand. So it was quite astonishing to me. So, but okay, so it was a test. We're testing a lot, and then we communicate, and so people can learn from it or get inspired or say, okay, so this is our goal actually.
Exploring, no? You said that you're explorer. And as Matea, she said that she was one of the pioneers. She started in 2012 being a sustainable brand. I would like to know about the support that you're having. You have so many awards. What are the support? Because Isabel was saying they are funded, they are not economically viable. What are the supports you have to bring your brand so we can see more support for this for brands that go in this direction?
No, when I was listening to Isabel, I'm fascinating what you are doing, right? Because this is practically total opposite of fast fashion, like 10,000 years, you know, difference. I think ideal will be something in the middle that you can survive on the market too, right? Mm-hmm. But these stories are very inspiring, and if connected with maybe some high-end fashion brands, it can fit very good, no? Let's say my way was like how to get fast as I can recognition, and of course one way was through some competitions, and one of that was very supported by Italian media was Green Carpet Awards, and I was the first year when it was established in 2017 during Milano Fashion Week, and in 2017 there were the first prizes based on sustainable luxury, and I was one of the 5 finalists. I did, of course, this couture dress with apple skin leather. And then I move on. Then I was invited in Los Angeles during pre-Oscars gala, where the wife of James Cameron, Susie Cameron, and Samantha invited me to do a dress with one innovation of Tencel company. So that's why the name of the textile was Tencel Lux. And that was the second time I flew to Los Angeles and had this presentation before Oscars. And now, I don't know, every year I get some prize. But that's not good sign. maybe I hope, you know, this is all nice for the ego and everything, but I really hope that the shops will open the doors to more sustainable brands, because the fashion market is quite difficult. Yeah,
like the circular project,
a lot of competition
behind the circular sustainable fashion week. Exactly what it is.
Yeah,
here, great.
Yeah, but I think that the most important what we can do is just to show that in practice you can really do a good work, that it's not necessary to wait anymore, that the changes can be done really fast.
And also, Matea, keep in mind that the EU Commission has a lot of funding now through different programs. We had the Word, we had for free, and now actually Paloma García and us, we are part of one new program which started actually, the kickoff meeting was on Friday, and there are 4 different consortiums who are developing accelerator programs for sustainable fashion. So we keep you updated.
I'm an artist. I don't know, you know, with the financial and all this stuff, I'm very bad.
No, but it's to encourage and to help to accelerate sustainable fashion brands. It's yours, so you are our key.
Yeah, thank you for this information.
I will keep you updated. So because so there are a lot of funding now, and more than funding, it's like the mentoring, helping, informating, and also connecting. What I said at the very beginning. Usually, brands in our system are competitors. And everything is very fragmented, so nobody is sharing information. And what I think what is most important, that we are, we changed our mindset also and become a sharing economy, and that we share and we collaborate together. And this is like, this is something the EU Commission can do and will do, that to give spaces to co-research, co-create, and share information, like manufacturers, like suppliers, and best practices, and so we get to make like a very connected ecosystem about sustainability in fashion. This is like, I think the most important part.
Yeah, it is, because really we have in all levels to change mindset.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and this is it's a challenge even for our egos.
Yeah, this is the thing. We don't work with designers, but we work with collectives, and everything is so. Coming back to myself, my whole approach every day to what I do is always working with people and without hierarchies. It's like really bringing out spaces where people connect together and work together and make a better life, you know, and a better world. So it's. And I'm used to it because, you know, REC Research Center is like very collaborative, and I'm always shocked when I come to, you know, companies or work with, you know, in projects where people are still separated. So we have to, you know, collaborate together to be stronger anyway. So it's the only way, and to learn from each other and support our. Now everybody feels very alone. And this is something the only thing that we get stronger is that we support each other, so that we're not alone anymore.
And you know why? Because how you told at the beginning, transparency is very important, but if you don't communicate, you can't be transparent.
Yeah.
So you have to get information, because yes, we are now here, but maybe in 2 years we can be there. Now, so we have to be very transparent and clean. What I use, why I use this now, and what I can do better in, I don't know, 2, 5, or 10 years. No? Because it's all the time developing, especially in sustainability, because it's a long progress. I know, for example, for pineapple leather, they need 9 years to launch it on the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great what you said, Matea, about the communication transparency. That's something that I've never thought about. Great. Matea, I'd like to know a little bit more of your collaboration, talking about collaboration, no? With the goalkeeper, Jan.
Yes, the Spanish goalkeeper, Atletico de Madrid. The best goalkeeper, Jan Oblak, yes.
From Slovenia, is it?
He's Slovenian, that's why. Yeah, but I didn't know who was Jan Oblak, and it was a coincidence. And when I met him, I started watching football. So yes, when I met Jan, it was kind of, I never could connect myself with football, because of course I come from opera, I come from theaters, I appreciate totally different areas. I'm not a sport woman. And when I met Jan, we decided that maybe we can do something for his fans. And we developed a T-shirt with his graphic, like Jan with these long hands, like octopus. From his hometown, they call him an octopus, because he has these large hands, and this all, that's why then fits with my collection. And even we did a gift box which is fully sustainable, with his autograph card on a sustainable paper and original sign. And here I see that in the field of football, it's a lot, they can do a lot, because most of things are from fast fashion. So all the products are based on synthetics, and they are very cheap. So here is a big consumption and a lot of things we can do. And this was one nice message we put out, that you can have sustainable products in football.
Where was it distributed? Here in Spain or in Slovenia?
It was distributed through our page and in Slovenia, because he's playing even for national Slovenian teams. So they were selling in their shops. And now we will see, we have it is on the market less than 1 year, this product.
And talk about distribution, Isabel, where can we find Las Mamelas product?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we have it on the website. Las Manuelas is still a research project. We are still, every collection we do has a testing objective. So now we are, for example, the new collection we are doing, there is a message behind, because we built a group of students from ID Spain and Academy of Arts Stroganov in Moscow. So there is a goal behind. We want to build a new language and a new design manifest for this very crazy times, and how to translate this design manifest in a visual new language which is universal, because Las Manuelas, it's about, like, you know, a tool which is an universal language, because it connects artists from all over the world with this woman. And here the goal is to come out with a hybrid product, which is not only fashion, but also artistic. So, but still all the collections are available at the website. So they are all unique and signed. So we have, just a minute, I can show you. So each, I have it here. So each piece has like the manifesto, and then it's signed, you know, because you know the name of the alpaca herder and artisan, the name of the designer, and the number. So they are unique pieces. So on the website.
Limited edition.
Yeah, it's because every piece, even if we would repeat, every piece is handmade, you know, it's one. And you know, also the colors, you see it, for example, in this piece, you know, when you skill an animal, you have, like, you know, a hand of wool. And if you dye it, this wool from one animal will get a different color. So, for example, in this piece, which is one of our last collection with this graffiti artist, here you see it's from different animals. And so every piece is unique, because every piece is made by one hand, and you see it. Sometimes it's, like, you know, thicker, sometimes it's wider, the point, than the colors. So it's always a bit of a surprise. So you cannot expect that you have always. We did for the Japanese shop, like they buy it, like, from each piece of the collection. This was like a collection of 11 pieces. They bought like 6 of each piece, and we sent 6 pieces which are not identically the same. This was also a test, how to see what will say, like, you know, a concept store in Japan, if we send 6 pieces which are not the same. And they accepted it, because they, you know, they understood the story behind it. They understood that they are handmade. So it's not like you do it in a fabric, or so, yeah. So on the website, you can go to the website. We have a store there. So thank you.
Matea, you were saying something. You were adding something before. If you want to add something.
Oh, I can just show you. Maybe just to get an impression of the when I do a collection. For example, the prints are all how I say it, or feather, or animal feather, or parrots on it. So I have all really colorful, and say more you can learn or see about the brand on our website, Benedetti.life. And nothing. What can I say? That's it.
You can find your pieces there as well. If you want to buy, you can find your pieces there as well. Okay, that's great. Something else would like to add, ladies? Thank you so much for this conversation. Please feel free.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, both of you. I don't know if Rochele tell you that the main sustainable development goals in this Congress, in this Sustainable Fashion Week, is the Sustainable Development 17, because we think that the partnership with of us is very important in this road to the Sustainable Development Goals. No, Here, both of you are speaking about your project, all the illusion and all of the energy that you are put in there is very important for us. It's very important for all the people that are watching these recordings. And thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your generosity to be with us, to show your job. It's a pleasure, it's an honor for us to be with you in this moment. Rochele, you want to say something?
That's all. Thank you very much. It was a really pleasure conversation and amazing to know all your work you're doing. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Y a todo el mundo que nos estáis escuchando, un placer continuar ahí porque vamos a seguir escuchando a muchísima más gente. Es un placer. Muchísimas gracias, Isabel. Matea, as Isabel said, we are waiting for you in our European project. Join us because we are going to put a lot of illusion as well in both a lot of projects that are working with sustainable and circular economy.
Great.
So we are waiting for you.
Yeah, you will be in contact.
Yeah.
Okay, Matea.
Thank you very much, and it was really a pleasure to meet you all. And I'm so happy that so many of us are doing something different.
Thank you so much.
For the better.
Thank you, Paloma. Thank you, Rochele. Thank you, Matea.
Un beso enorme a todas. Cuidaros mucho.
Igualmente, gracias.
Chao, chao.
Hasta luego.
Bye.